di ba yung swimsuit, di ba? Parang first time na everyone's parang in a contest mode na. Di ba?
Yeah.
Did you feel pressured o mas nakilala mo yung yung mga ibang candidates?
Actually, it was almost like a vacation for all of us.
Okay.
There was a competition that was going to happen, but everyone's in relaxation mode between all the shoots. We're in bikini anyway, so we jump in the pool, hang out, and then we have after parties hosted by MUPH. So it really was more of a time for all of us to get to know each other because we're traveling and everyone misses home.
What about the actual rampahan on your swimsuit? Did you feel pressured? Wala
Of course, there's
kinabahan
always
ka?
pressure. Like it's not true if someone says no. It's completely relaxed because you still want to impress, you still want to do well. But I just had fun with it because swimwear is one of my favorite competitions.
And isama ka sa top.
Yeah, super surprised actually.
Na-surprise.
There's so many of us. 69 candidates to start. So being in top 8 was like a really big deal and an honor. So.
Okay. Among the candidates, sino yung nakita mong na-inspire ka whenever you see her?
Of course, there's Ate Winwin.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of veterans and they're my friends and I respect them all. But for some reason with Ate Winwin, she's like another mother or a big sister in the group all the time. She's really willing to help out everyone and a calming presence. You can really see her professionalism and why she's succeeded in the industry.
Okay. Meron bang candidate na whenever you see her, parang she's a threat or she's there to get the crown? Meron ka bang ganon?
I think we're all secret killers in the pageant. Of course, we all want to win. We all have our things in our back pocket. But actually, even talking to the staff, they're saying this group is really chill. There's not cattiness or fights between the girls. We're all just kind of happy to be there. So right now, no claws out.
Okay. My first time of everything sa Philippines, sabi mo
Yeah,
nga.
pretty much.
Oo. So, paano mo na-enjoy yun and at the same time you're competing?
Yeah, I'm taking every moment to make it its fullest. So when I had off time 4-day weekend in the beginning of the trip, I went back to Ifugao since I'm representing them for the first time in Miss Universe Philippines. So that was a time for me to see my family because my mom has 9 siblings and most of them are here in the Philippines. So take time to see family since I'm usually in the US and it's hard to reach them. Other than that, I have a fabulous roommate here who we have our like night times where we watch Grey's Anatomy. So, yeah.
Like sa Philippines so far, ano yung mga na-explore mo na hindi mo na first time mo ang nagawa na hindi mo makakalimutan?
Sorry.
What are the things that first time you did here in the Philippines?
First time. Well, compete in a national pageant
Okay.
for one.
But more in the culture.
Yeah, the culture. Trying a lot of food.
Okay.
Which ones have not? I haven't had balut yet.
Mm.
That's the big one everyone's questioning. Haven't tried balut yet, but just the different delicacies. Like in Northern Samar, we're having all of their pili-pili delicacies and halo-halo even. I actually usually don't like halo-halo, but in Northern Samar, it was so refreshing because the weather's so hot now. I really liked it. So.
Okay. Where you came from, the weather's different and here it's so hot. How did you
Adjust.
Yes, adjust.
So, when I was leaving to come to the Philippines, it's actually snowing in New York. And then I come here in the Philippines and it's so humid. But it's nice because, to be honest, when you have to pack your bags for 3 months, it's easier to pack summer clothes than winter clothes. So it's been really nice being in the warmth while all of my friends and family are freezing in the US. Of course, the warm weather's better.
Getting to know your relatives here, reconnecting with them. What unforgettable stories would you like to share?
Well,
As
it
a
was
Filipino.
the first time I went back to Ifugao this trip. We told them the night before, hey, I have a sudden opening in the schedule. I think I can come visit for 2 days. They said, okay, we'll try our best to arrange for things. So we go there. There's motorcade. There's like thrones for every time we eat dinner. Just the accommodations in general were really amazing. It was really an immersion trip. when we went back, they're teaching me to sing, teaching me the language all at once. So it was a once in a lifetime opportunity that I felt really special and really supported to be their candidate. Of course, being originally from the US, there comes the questions, why are you representing Ifugao if you're not living there currently? But through and through in my heart, all of my Filipino roots are in Ifugao. And going home and seeing our traditions and seeing my family again, it reminded me of why I'm really passionate to represent an underrepresented city, or province rather. So I think most of all, that's what really amazed me by the trip, was the warm reception, the support, and of course the beautiful culture that I can bring to the national stage.
What about the segments of the pageant? Where are you most challenged? The swimwear, the evening gown, the Q&A?
Most challenged? I think originally when I joined the pageant, the phase of competition I was really unfamiliar with was passerella in general. So my pageant background is in Miss America before, which is more on how you speak, volunteer, being a spokesperson. There's not rampa. And of course here in the Philippines, it's of everything. Everyone wants to see your walk. So I had a couple sessions in New York before coming here. And every week now I'm still training it. So it's an ongoing journey, and there's a lot of pressure because you see Catriona Gray with her signature walk. Everyone wants a signature. So I think that is my most challenge, but that's also what I'm working hardest on so that I can prove myself.
Val, what was the feeling like the first time you mingled with your fellow candidates?
First time was the press con, I believe, because I actually came to the Philippines with two other candidates, Miss Lilu Laguna and Pasay City. So we had that comfortability going in. We're lucky because we have built-in sisters. But then the first girl I actually talked to was Atisa, funny enough. And I was blown away by the uniqueness of all the candidates and also how kind they were upon reception. As a candidate from the US, I wasn't aware of all of the pageant happenings and oh my gosh, Atisa's back. So I just went up to her and said, "Hi, I'm Val, what's your name?" And we hit it off and we just had a candid conversation. You realize no matter where people are coming from in this pageant journey, we really are in the same boat. We're all going through a similar journey, and we're the only ones that know what each other are going through. So the candidates are really your biggest support system. And it's really a blessing to have so many sisters during this.
So, dream mo talaga maging beauty queen? Why do you want to be a beauty queen?
Well, coming from a Filipino mother, and I'm an only child, of course you watch Miss Universe Philippines growing up, and you're watching all the pageants, and I actually said this earlier, my mom's 4'9", so she could never do pageants back in the day when there was really strict guidelines. So I finished my school and I said, maybe it's time to give it a try, because these are girls that I looked up to as a child watching Miss Universe Philippines. They're really role models in the community. So now that I'm 23, done school, I finished my biomedical engineering degree, I think it's time to try some creative outlets, because you want to be most well-rounded in life. Especially, we just celebrated Women's Month. And one of the most beautiful things about being a woman is the diversity and how many hats you can wear. So engineer and pageant queen, why not?
Okay. Well, you're beautiful and you have an impressive background.
Thank you.
Don't you think men would be intimidated sa'yo?
I hope not. I think in this day and age, and it's 2025, we should be embracing each other's abilities rather than gender or being intimidated by someone's characteristics. Instead, we should uplift each other and use each other's uniqueness to our benefit, to benefit society in general. So if they're intimidated by me, I hope they're inspired by me instead.
Any adjustments entering the Philippine competition?
Sorry?
Any adjustments?
Well, of course, the cat's out of the bag. I don't speak fluent Tagalog. So of course, that comes with challenges, but I'm challenging myself throughout this journey to learn the language. I understand a bit, especially if it's Taglish. So that's my biggest thing I'm trying to adjust with. throughout. I need to learn the language so that I can communicate myself properly.
Any like changes from US competition to Philippine?
A lot, actually. The pageant systems in America are lovely. I had a great time doing that. But here, it's a sport. Here in the Philippines, you guys love pageantry. So the adjustment is to fulfill and step up to the plate, because there's been so many beautiful queens that have come before me and so many other people I look up to, that it's time that I also step up and fulfill the dream.
So what do you do to improve your Tagalog speaking ability?
Tagalog. So it's starting with me telling everyone to speak more Taglish to me, rather than adjusting and speaking full English. Of course, that's not all the time, because when we're getting directions from production, I really need to make sure I know what I'm doing. But it's starting with Taglish, just immersing myself, listening to more music, because I hear a lot of Filipinos. I ask, how do you get so good at English? Because you guys are really good at English here, and I'm amazed by being bilingual. And they say, oh, I listen to music from a kid, I watch American culture like in movies and TV, so I said, maybe I should try the reverse and try with Filipino music, OPM, so that's where it's starting for now.
Are you also interested in entering showbiz?
Well, you have to embrace every opportunity, especially this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I want to see where this journey takes me. I'll say that. And of course, I have a passion for singing, acting, dancing, so it doesn't just stop with pageantry. Hopefully, I can get something afterwards too.
Do you know any artists you look up to? Look up.
Let's see. Catherine Bernardo is my favorite actress, Filipino actress. My first Filipino movies were all of her movies. I binge watched a lot during COVID. And then in terms of singing, it's hard because there are so many good Filipino singers. But I really love Regine, of course. My mom grew up, when I was growing up, my mom listened to a lot of Regine and even Leia Salonga. So those are big ones that I look up to because I like to sing loud and be red.
Can you sing?
Oh, right now.
Sample, yes.
Yeah.
Sample.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Share my life, take me for what I am, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you. Yeah. Simple lang. We're in public. Thank you.